Welcome, thanks for joining class today. Let's start with a roll down. About hip width apart with the feet. Abs drawing in as you inhale, grow tall. Exhale, roll yourself down about hip height with the shoulders. And then circling the arms in one direction about 4 times. Then reversing your circles. Take an inhale, draw the abs in, and exhale to come back up. Cool. Okay. When you're sitting, take your feet into a butterfly stretch. And as you're in your butterfly stretch, it's really easy to just kind of like let the legs hang and be in a hanging stretch. So what I want you to do, instead of just letting the legs hang, press the soles of the feet into each other until you feel the outside of the glutes work a little bit. Once you feel that, push the big toes into each other, and then you might start to feel your inner thighs working as well. When you notice that, keep your legs there, and then see if this connection that you get through your pelvis could make you a little bit lighter on your pillow. And then you're going to try and stay that way. Take an inhale into the back of the rib cage. Adjust yourself if needed. Good. And when you exhale, keep the breath in the back of the rib cage. Again, take an inhale and exhale. When you're exhaling, see if you could draw the abs in a little bit more, just to try and create space between the ribs and the hips. Good. Then you're going to reach for your foam roller, and you're going to keep that space between the ribs and the hips. Start reaching forward just a little bit for the first one, and then controlling back in. Just a little bit forward and back. And if for some reason this movement is not working out for you today, you can also just hold on your legs and lean forward a little bit and come back towards you. I have a runaway foam roller. So lightly leaning forward and back away. Good. One more time. And then let's stay here. Still your back. You want the back of the head to be on your foam roller. You feel your sacrum on there and also the back of the ribs, including the bottom ribs. Get your arms open and just let your shoulders get wide. If you notice that they're rounding forward, let them open up. However, you need to adjust for that to happen. And then let's take the arms for the ceiling. Good. From here, we're going to start lifting the arms overhead, palms are facing into each other, and then back up to the ceiling. Only about 50% of the range. So just go about 50% of the range, maybe even less, and back up above you. Just slightly overhead and back above you. It's just like if you were tossing something over your head. Not very heavy. Good. 2 more times. One more like that. Now let's make circles in that range where we go back, we open, back above us. Good. Long neck, nose to the ceiling, circling through the arms. Noticing how your arm connects to your back and to your lats, and seeing if you can encourage that connection to continue. At the top, reverse your circles, reaching above the chest to open out and then up and over the head. We're still working on trying to keep the shoulder blades heavy down towards the mat as you're circling through the arms. One more time. And then alternating the arms like you're doing marching arms. Start to spread your fingers. And I don't know why I say like you're doing marching arms, because you are doing marching arms. Three more on each side. Keeping your arms connected to your back the entire time. Last set. Let's take the arms up to the ceiling, and then the left leg is going to go up to tabletop. In your tabletop, the left leg will reach out to straight, and then it'll pull back in. Reach out and pull back in. Good. Your foot will be pointed as you reach away, and you pull back in. Two more. And back in. Opposite arm reaches out as the leg straightens, and down towards the hip as the knee comes in closer than before. And over as it straightens. Knee comes in close, hand down towards the hip. Again, reach out. The knee comes in towards the chest like if you were skipping. And again, two more times. Once more. Now that arm stays up. Left arm, left leg, they go apart. They come down towards each other and past each other. And again apart. The arms still moving like marching arms. And down towards the hips. Long neck. This is difficult. Try two more. And one more. The arms stay up, the leg goes down. This time push down into the left sole of the foot to lift your right leg up. And once it's at your tabletop and you're comfortable with it, you'll start reaching out and back in. If you're just like, I cannot hold this, one arm can always go down to help you stabilize. I might do that on this side today. Good. So reaching out and pulling in. Good. One more like this. And let's add the opposite arm. So, right leg, left arm. They reach away from each other and then past each other. The knee lengthens and it pulls in like you're skipping. Then it reaches away, arm goes over. Good. Try a couple more. And then you're going to switch arms. If you can, you have both hands towards the ceiling. If that's not working for you today, then the opposite arm goes down. Right arm, right leg. They reach out and back towards each other. Oops, sorry, down past the hip. And away and towards the hip. And if for any reason you only make it to the chest, that's fine. Good. Good, working on staying stable on your bed as much as you can. Or foam roller. I wanted to call it table. Last one. And then you're going to lower the leg down. Yay, those were so good. Nice job. Let's take the arms up to the ceiling and open and up and open and up. 3 more. 2. One more time. Keep the arms out. Reach through the fingers, pull the shoulder blades apart, and start circling little circles. And then reverse little circles. The hands are going to reach or interlace and reach behind the head. We're going to pull the elbows, not super wide, but out and through the elbows, like the elbows reach for the corners in the front of a room. And then you'll start curling up and lowering down. Lifting your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat as you lift. And then you lower. Lengthening the crown of the head for the ceiling. And back down. 2 more times. Trying to find a little bit more space between your vertebrae and your spine. Last one. From here, you're going to sit yourself up carefully or roll yourself up to the side, whatever feels more comfortable to you. And then the foam roller will go under the knees. Lift your hips. Then you're going to push the foam roller maybe down a little bit more towards the sacrum so that you can take your legs up towards the ceiling. You apparently needed to go more. Good. Then your shoulders will open, hands press into the mat. Keep your legs together, point and flex your feet. Good. Just keeping the feet together, the ankles together, the knees together. Then alternate your feet, which one points and flexes. And then we'll go to running, where the ball of the foot stays connected and the heels move away from each other. And then just let the legs kind of float up. You can close your eyes if you need to. Sometimes it's a good way of figuring out where your legs really just want to hang in space. But just let your legs kind of hang until they go to a place they like. And once you find that spot, start internally rotating and externally rotating in that spot. And start to point your feet still in that spot. You continue to internally and externally rotate. And then flex the feet and continue internally and externally rotating, which makes me feel like I'm dancing. A really wacky kind of dance. Now both knees turn to one side, then the other side, the feet are still flexed. You're alternating which side you go to, and it can be slow, or you can move a little bit faster if you're comfortable doing that. Now if you notice that your hips are moving, then that's something different. We're just letting the femur move in the hip socket. So keep thinking about having that space between the ribs and the hips. Stay the same the entire time. Now let the legs relax. Let them come overhead so that they just kind of hang out. And it'll feel like a nice stretch through your low back. We'll hang there. Look for the wall behind you so that your throat is nice and open. Start pointing and flexing your feet. Keep the legs reaching behind you and overhead. Take them apart and point and flex your feet. And then let's circle the legs apart, down a little, together, and up. So the circle is tilted more above the head rather than away from the body right now. We're just kind of letting the low back stretch as the legs come over the head. Reverse your circles, keep them the same range. Just reaching the feet above the foam roller towards the ceiling and overhead. Three more times. Last one. And then going to scissors, where one leg comes towards you, the other one goes away. Take it slow, reach far, find a stretch, and then slowly switch. Again, take it slow, reach far, find a stretch, and switch. And switch. When you find a stretch, see if you could reach a little bit more to find a bigger stretch each time. 2 more on each side. One more. We're going to pull both knees in towards your chest so that you feel your low back stretch. This is going to press your legs towards your abdomen. That can feel uncomfortable. I agree. See if you could breathe away from where your knees are pressing into. So just draw the abs in even more, which might feel even more uncomfortable, and let your breath expand the back. Then the legs go back up to the ceiling. You're going to cross the right leg over the left. Point your feet and start circling in one direction. A nice gentle circle, like you're trying to draw a circle on the ceiling. Oh, hi Tanya, it's his niece. Reverse the circles. They might feel different, that's okay. Try a few more circles. Squeezing the legs into each other. If at any point you need to readjust or reorganize your body, please do so. Sometimes this starts to push the foam roller away. And then switch your legs so that the right leg is underneath, the left one is on top. And again, do small circles. Nose for the ceiling. Let your upper back take up space on the mat. Have space for your throat. You could see the wall behind you. One more circle and then reverse. Keep the upper body weighted. And then one more time. Pull the right knee in, left leg away. You can grab onto the right knee. And then the left leg is going to reach for the ground as much as it can, slowly until it gets there. And then you're going to pull into the right knee, which is going to start to lift the left leg. Then you'll start to lift that leg more all the way above you. And again, reaching that leg away, point through the toes as you reach away so that it starts to pull you. And it'll pull your right leg away into your hands so that you feel a stretch through the front of the left hip. And then you pull back up. And we lengthen away until it pulls the leg and back up. And if it's not pulling the leg away, then the foam roller probably needs to go up a little bit higher towards your back. One more time. If it's uncomfortable, just find a place that's comfortable for you. And then pull the left knee in. I'm going to move the foam roller again for myself. Too far. There we go. So now the right leg will reach away until it pulls the left knee away from your body, and then you bring the leg back up. Reach through the right big toe to lengthen away from the body. Good. Nose to the ceiling. You could see the wall behind you. When your big toe lengthens away, you're looking for a stretch in the front of the hips. Squeeze the glute until the stretch goes towards the abdomen. And back up. One more time. Both knees come in. You're going to take your legs back up. And you can take your hands to the front of your hips so that when the legs come over, it's almost like you're supporting the weight of the femur with your hands. Just going to reach back again, point and flex a few more times. Then do ankle rolls. And then reverse them. And then bend the knees. You're going to lower your feet all the way down. Push the foam roller out from underneath. Good. Push the foam roller away. And you're going to stay holding onto your legs. Pull yourself forward. Start to round yourself back. Keep holding onto your legs for as long as you can until you get yourself all the way down, which should feel really nice once you're all the way down. The arms can open wide. They can be up towards the ceiling. They can be behind the head, whatever is comfortable for you, but where you can also keep your back engaged and connected to your arms. From here, start to pull the foam roller towards you by bending the knees, rolling the foam roller towards the toes, and then away from you, back out to straight, so that it feels like a little massage towards the bottom of the foot, or the whole bottom of the foot, and behind the heel. What you will notice with this little massage is that, one, that feels awesome, but also your lower abdomen has to work in order for your hips to stay in place and your legs to move in and out. When your legs are going out, squeeze the glutes on purpose to help you pull back in. And that will also help you feel the lower fibers in the abdomen. Try a couple more times, pulling towards your knees together and away. One more time. And then from here, let your feet just kind of hang out. You're going to turn the knees out away from each other. Actually, first separate them a little bit. And you're going to turn them out away from each other and towards each other. So away from each other and towards each other. We already did this when we had our hips over the foam roller and our legs were facing the ceiling. Now our legs are going towards the wall, but as we're doing this, and the sacrum stays heavy, if you can stay connected to your back through your arms, reach through the crown of the head so that you can feel the opposite stretch, the two-way stretch through the abdomen. And then maybe you'll get a little bit more lower ab connection during this. Now both knees go to one side and over to the other side. We're just letting the legs move in the hip socket so that if anything needs to lengthen or move or stretch in the hip socket, that it happens right now. You will feel your lower abdomen work. 2 more times. Good. And then you're going to roll back in. And now stay with your knees bent. Just let your feet roll so that you massage the bottom of your feet. It feels really nice. If the foam roller runs away from you, bring it back in. Sometimes that happens. Now, while this feels nice on the bottoms of the feet, sometimes it makes the hamstrings work a lot or the feet want to cramp. Just do whatever you need to help you mobilize through your feet without causing any of the other ones. Good. Couple more times. And then you're going to take your feet off the foam roller on the mat. The hands stay behind the head, or if they are not there, you will now place them behind the head, elbows wide. The feet will be wide, about the width of the mat, and then the knees will go over to one side. As you get to one side, the top glute from that top hip is going to engage so that it starts to roll over the bottom hip. And then that glute will disengage to come back down so that the knees can go back to center and over to the other side. Top glute engages to get that hip to roll over, and then you come back to center by disengaging and pulling the knees to the ceiling over to the other side. Again, squeeze the glute, keep the opposite elbow down so that you feel the twist happen through the core and into the armpit, and then rolling back down. Nose is still straight for the ceiling. You could see the wall behind you if you look back. Elbow heavy to the ground as you squeeze through the glute and back in. Try this about 3 more times, going at your own pace. When the top leg is pushing into that glute, you could also push into the inside of the foot to help you lengthen through. So that would be the inside of the top leg on the foot. The other thing that you can also add to it is lengthening out through the knee, like the knee could grow longer than it is already. And then that's pretty much all the things you need for now to get a lot out of this stretch. It's probably way more than you need, but who knows? Maybe some of you needed one and then some of you needed other ones. Try one more to each side. Good. Then from here, if you can, you'll take your hands behind your knees to roll yourself up. If you're like, I don't think so, then you don't have to do that. Take your legs out in front, but keep them a little bent. Actually quite a bit bent. I want you to take your hands over your knees and then dive yourself forward to stretch through your upper back. Take a few breaths where you feel like your upper back inflates like a hot air balloon or a parachute. And then exhale, keep that parachute shape. One more breath to the back of the ribs. Exhale, keep that shape. And then you're going to hug yourself. This is my favorite part. So you want to have your knees bent enough where you can hug yourself, where you take one arm under and then the other one as much as you can. And you stay really tight and close to your legs. From here, if this is where you want to hang out, this is where you hang out. You can move a little bit from side to side. If as you're moving from side to side, you're like, I don't know, maybe I could straighten my legs, you'll just start to walk your feet out in front of you slowly a little bit. And just go to where you're comfortable still holding on in the same spot and shifting a little bit from side to side. And if you haven't done this since you were little, you're welcome, because this is fun. Take a couple of breaths where you breathe into your back, pulling the abdomen away from your legs. And then you'll slowly come on out of there. And you guys will be all done. Good job. Yay! Thanks for doing class today. I hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.